My daughter and son-in-law, they were in Hamilton in Victoria, and apparently there's a bit of a story behind it because the house of sin became the house of God, and the house of God then hosted a Vision radio station.
Hey, we've got someone who has made a donation today for Visionathon on the line. Bruce is in Wondai in the South Burnett. Hello, Bruce. A special welcome along to you.
Hello, Neil. How are you? Good to be with you.
Well,
I'm to hear your voice in the afternoon. Usually we hear it in the morning.
That's right. I'm usually hanging around working hard in the afternoon, just not on the radio. But get to be on the radio when we're doing Visionathon. Bruce, you're in Wondai and you have played a special role over many years, but you were one of the ones who got the Wondai station set up, and we're talking over 10 years ago now.
Yeah, it's been a while that it's been here, and it was interesting how it came into being because there was a station in Mergen, and there was I think it was the Adventist radio had a station in Wondai. And they were both on the same frequency, and between Wondai and Mergen there was a lot of overlap. And anyway, we ended up with a station in Wondai, and subsequently a frequency swap was done with the Adventists in Mergen, so that now both those stations are on the same channel, and the coverage is just immensely improved.
Wonderful to collaborate together. And look, you weren't in Queensland when you got some inspiration that you needed to get Vision on in Wondai. In fact, you were visiting your sons in Victoria.
My daughter and son-in-law, they were in Hamilton in Victoria, and apparently there's a bit of a story behind it because the house of sin became the house of God, and the house of God then hosted a Vision radio station. So, yeah, apparently what the Hamilton Church bought was an old pub that was owned by people by the name of Sin, S-I-W.
There you go. Hey, wonderful to hear of that pioneering spirit, because you recognise there was a need. You recognised there was a void that needed to be filled, and you must be an action man, Bruce, because you put all of those steps into action, and now for the past 10 or 12 years, people in your community have been able to hear Vision Radio, and who knows what effect that's had on the community. Do you reflect on anything like that? So if you can say, well, I can see what's going on in our Wondai community, and, does Vision make a difference in your community?
I believe it honestly does. And since Wondai's come online, we've also seen Hydesville come online, and out Geelong Way, there's another one come online out there. And so it's just spread the coverage, and there's quite a good coverage across the area. I believe it's had a very positive impact.
Bruce, some people will be listening right now, and some who've never given a donation for Visionathon before. I wonder if you can let us in on your heartbeat for why people ought to make a donation for Visionathon.
Well, it's like a lot of things, Neil. The quality of the material that comes through Vision, things like the program that's still introduced there during the COVID lockdown on Sunday mornings, the teaching quality that's there is just so much that's available. As I mentioned before, I'm really impressed by what Mandy does there, some of the subjects that she touches on, and she does it in such a beautifully sensitive way, yet maintains a good sound scriptural base for it. And to have that sort of quality material around, and you just never know who's listening, who's got a car radio on or lying awake at night with it happening. God just reaches into places that perhaps human beings would never get into.
He does amazing things, and the best is still to come.
I love hearing from little towns like Wondai in Queensland, which is gorgeous. I remember visiting there. But since our very early days, we have been obsessed with reaching small towns and communities with the light of the gospel, because that's when lives are changed. It's through the power of God's word and the gospel. You want to change a nation, you've got to change the heart of individuals first and foremost. Well, guess what? We're obsessed with reaching big cities too. In fact, we're a little greedy. We want them all, the big ones, the little ones, the in-between ones, because those cities are filled with people. Small communities have got people, and God's heart is for people. We want to shine the light into those communities. And how do we do that? Through people. People reach people. People get to use new media to reach people. And so we're doing this together as a family. Together as a family, we're going to reach the nation for the gospel. So it's time to shine. It's time to... How do you shine? You got to do something. We've got to get up off our blessed assurances and do something. How do you do that? Well, once you've got that blessed assurance up from the chair, go and grab your phone and give us a call. We want to hear from you now. 1-800-316-316. Of course, there is the Vision Christian Media app. It's free. People are using it all the time, and especially they're going online to vision.org.au. Make a donation. Do it now.
Thank you so much, Bruce.
Can I throw in the last word, Neil?
Yeah, what were you going to say?
I was going to say that what Mandy was just talking about, there's a lot of resources in big cities. There's very limited resources in country areas.
That's right. That's right.
Point.
Yeah.
So it's like bringing the city to the country and bringing the country to the city on Vision. So thank you for bringing the country to the city today, Bruce. Hey, got to go, but
No worries.
the Lord's blessing on you.
Thanks, Bruce.
And to you guys
Thanks, Bruce.
too, keep doing what you're doing.